The last thing I want to talk about in this episode of the Europuck podcast is the announcement, or the rumour, it's more of a rumour at this point, but it could be an announcement, that the KHL is considering hosting a game in Jerusalem, Israel. Now, this is from traderumours.com, who got it from the same website we looked at the previous news in, TASS. So according to Andrew Zadaranowski of TSN 690, the original report from Russian media outlet TASS, the KHL will be hosting a game in Jerusalem, Israel on December 10th, and it will feature two pretty decent teams in the KHL, both in years before and this season, CSKA Moscow and Avangard Omsk. So prior to the game, the KHL has hosted games not in their market in Estonia, Switzerland, and Austria. The league is known to tap into non-traditional hockey markets. Obviously, China being one of them. You've got Latvia, you've got Belarus. Obviously, they're more hockey markets, and you've got Finland in there, which is definitely a hockey market. But they're expanding their sphere of influence, I think is the word I'm looking for. And it's also important to mention they did used to have a team in Croatia as well, which Chris and I are very much familiar with. Medvesac.
So we're very familiar with this side. Hey!
Yeah. Hey, so the 2021 KHL season kicked off September 2nd, and they're obviously going into more detail about that. So yeah, some of the KHL teams are allowing fans to the arenas, but that's not what we're really focusing on in this article. What we are focusing on is the fact that the KHL is supposedly going to host a game in Jerusalem, which isn't really a hockey nation. I mean, we've talked about Eliza Sherbatov here on the podcast before. They do have a national team in Israel. They're not a very good national team in terms of the wider hockey world. But, Chris, a KHL game in Jerusalem, what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Why not?
I like it. I like the idea. I think it's great. I think it's great that they're expanding to nations that don't particularly have a hockey program.
Yeah.
We know that there's Israeli players because we've spoken about them. Trying to see kind of where exactly they're going to host it. It appears as though it's going to be in the Jerusalem Arena, which sounds like something you'd have chariot racing in, really, doesn't it? But it's got a number of sports facilities. It does crucially have an ice rink, capacity of 11,000.
Wow, okay.
So this is a decent arena in Jerusalem. And they host some basketball and stuff as well. So we know that that's going to be relatively straightforward for them to put an ice rink there because we know it happens a lot in America.
Yep.
I mean, just take the Staples Center, which has the Kings, the Lakers, and the Clippers. Toronto has the Raptors and the Maple Leafs. So that's good, promising, and I think it's brilliant. I think the fact that they're expanding into and showing the game in countries where they don't normally get to see it, I think can only be a positive thing. And hopefully it goes off without any problems, and it will be a big success.
Yeah, and I think what better way to showcase the sport of hockey than having two of the best teams in the continent go head-to-head in a non-traditional hockey market. And the
Absolutely.
fact that this could bring in, obviously, a lot more fans to not just the KHL, but to the sport of hockey as a whole. It could do wonders for the Israeli hockey team and kind of the support that they have from the general populace. Because as Chris and I have mentioned several times over the episodes, all it takes is somebody to watch hockey, and they usually really like it, and they usually want to watch more. So all you got to do is get the eyes on them, and obviously an event like this will bring a lot of publicity, it will bring a lot of attention, and hopefully it will help grow the sport across the continent and into Israel as well. So yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea, and if any league is going to do it, if any league is crazy enough to put a hockey game in one of the hottest places in the world, or in one of the hottest areas in the world, is going to be the KHL. I mean, have you seen their all-star games? They're bloody nuts. So why not? Why not KHL? And you've got two solid teams there going up against each other. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, it's still kind of rumors at this point. It might be confirmed a little bit later down the line, but I want to tune in for that game. I want to tune in for that game in Israel and see how that goes. So there we go.